there's a little snake amongst them, and make out what you know. Anyway, that's it. This painting behind you all, I've had for some time. In fact, I had given it to Tom, my son, when he had a big office. Now he's got an office that's filled with computers. So I've taken back the painting. And I use it to announce, because it's a horn that announces. My father was loved romantic poetry and Victor Hugo. He knew it all by heart, and he'd say, you know, j'aime le son du corps, le soir au fond des bois, and he'd go on and on. And so there's Roland's call. And the hands mean whatever you want it to mean. It speaks to you or sings. And on this wall, which you can't see from there, there was a drawing. When I was talking to Elizabeth, she said, have you done old drawings about seeds? And I remembered that in 1980, I did do a drawing of sacks and seeds. And the sacks and seeds have been part of my art for years and years. So I had it framed, and there it is. It's a simple little drawing. But the shape of the seeds has always intrigued me. And then the sacks did too, because I think I've told you about the dream that I had. Yeah. So for years I had sacks in my works, and they weren't opened. And one year something happened that I opened them, and the result was pretty horrendous. 20 really nasty drawings, which people liked. I guess most of them have been given away. So you never know. When you hide something, when you are ready to open it up, be prepared for a shock, because you just don't know. Yeah. And then I found in Homesteads, again, I've been there several times to get these, there was a collection of seed pods. It was quite intriguing, but I had no idea where they're from. So I put them in this little plastic container, and there they are. Maybe you can tell me. And then on the other wall, there were two small boxes, and one of them is similar to milkweed, but not the milkweed that we know. It's not a common milkweed. So I put it in that little box. And beside it is a collection of shells. When I go to Superstore, sometimes one can buy des coquillages, what is it in French? Coquillage. Oui. Snails. En français. Is escargot. That's escargot. And I love escargot. I like even better for shells. So I put the shells there, and of course there's a snake, because to me, the snake is, primitive people used to like snakes because it represents renewal, because snakes get rid of their skin and are new again. So they can renew themselves. And I think that it's a very important symbol for us, how we can renew ourselves, and also how the earth can renew itself, we hope. It's not absolutely sure, but anyway. Well, I've been talking a long time. Are there any questions you would ask about the works?
We were, at the beginning, we asked why the milkweed was called strange milkweed, and you were just about to describe us why you found them in Nova Scotia, and to tell about the rest of that story.
Yeah, I've never seen milkweed that small, so it's a different cousin, I guess, to the ordinary milkweed that we know. This is in Kentville at a since I left Macdonald College in Montreal, there was a tulip tree there, and it's a gorgeous tree. It's very tall, and the leaves are shaped like a tulip, and the flowers aren't too, they're like tulips. So if you're in Kenttville, I don't remember the name, do you? I look for tulip trees. Yeah, so you can always find interesting things.
Elaine, I'm interested in the hands in this piece here. What was the significance of the many hands?
Well, I've used hands in quite a few paintings, and they signify a voice, because I don't have a soundtrack, but this means people are talking or singing, and it's their presence. That's how I look at it anyway. What do you see when you see hands?
Well, I see a number of things. I see the number of things that hands can do is in create music, of course.
Yes.
They can be planting or spreading seeds.
Yes.
Or tossing seeds into the sowing seeds in a basket. So I was seeing that tie in with your work. And you've used the gold color, as you mentioned. That's
Yeah, I like
theme
gold
throughout your work.
Yeah, gold is a metal that cannot combine with anything. It's pure. So I use it a lot. I think Cyrano has something to say about gold. In medieval times, it was very, very important. In fact, if you go to Aix-la-Chapelle, in German it's called Aachen, there is the throne of Charlemagne there, and there's a whole building full of gold artifacts that the church had accumulated. And it's mind-boggling, all the gold. Yeah. And I suppose they had to protect the churches because of vandals who go and get them. Yeah.
And back to the painting again, the theme of this show was fierce energy, and the horn is a manifestation of potential.
Yes.
And all of the hands mean potential of just this one instrument, but it needs another energy to manifest that. But again, might be the recycling again, the energy being dispersed might mean energy being given back somewhere else, and through whatever, the breath.
Yeah.
And it's just so beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful picture. Yeah. Nice piece. We noticed it right away when we came in.
So
Yes.
The ballet of
Je peux parler en français. I'm going to try to see it because some of you don't understand French. Yesterday evening, I went to this little restaurant near my house, and I met this woman who is just 35 years old, but she had a very bad, she had a difficult life in her early ages. Her mother left her, and her father, who was rather a little violent, what I could understand, and she was left there with 3 other sisters at the age of 9 years old, and she had to, and she's a marvelous woman. She elle resplendit, and she told me that at a certain point in her life, she had to ask help, and she said to her, it's not a shame, it's just as if you had, an accident at your arm and you have 2 knees. You go and see the doctor and you don't have any. And she said, I heard that somebody told me that we are, they don't want to go and see a psychologist, for instance, and she heard, we're a box, I'm a box full of worms. And I told her, as so beautiful she is to me, the way, because we talked a long, long time, nobody else was there. And I said, maybe we are a box full of worms, but the worms they just came in, you know, and when we let them go, well, the box is still very solid and beautiful there. And when I'm just listening to you today, I am amazed, je suis émerveillée de constater, and this is from a long time because I know you since the years of early 70s for sure, and you had such a great sensitivity, and you had in your book, you said it as well, you had a very difficult, you had a difficult life. And
it
some
was interesting.
Yes, when you were young, and from different part of society, even religion, and and how you kept near your roots all the time. You never cut completely the roots, but you evolved, and you with time, you came up, and you're still the same little girl from the beginning, and you kept the essential to me. I do remember in the early 70s when I first met you, maybe it's, I don't know, through you were just leaving the fine arts maybe, or you were there still in Mountain, and I was struck by your sensitivity in your drawings, and the way you were, and you're still the same person, and but with such more strength, and tu es comme resplendissante. I'm really struck by that, from you, and you also, your work reveals what you live inside yourself,
Yeah.
It's not from the outside and something that just strikes you. It strikes you because you live it inside. You choose those because you live it inside. It's a symbol of who you are. Becoming, always becoming. You never stop.
No.
It's just the way of, it's my feeling, and I just wanted to share it.
Well, I was going to say, as the Mayan, maybe I'm expected to pronounce and make a statement. And what I would like to say is that as artists, you never give up, you always continue. And in my case, I can't draw anymore. My eyes are bad and my hands shake, but there's always boxes that you can inhabit. There's always something that you can use to express what's inside you. And then you eventually find a language which can change, but it is yours, and not to copy, but always to remain true to yourself. And so that's the only advice. I was telling a friend, people when they become my age are considered wise because we don't give advice. We don't speak. Therefore, people say, there's a wise person. And we don't speak because people aren't going to listen to us anyway, so why bother, So that made me wise. But since I have this role, that's what I want to say. And I looked at the artwork that's under that tent, and it's all kinds of colorful things going on there.